My prediction is, yes, there's going to be a recession in America. That is going to affect our trade. Their interest rates are a little bit higher than ours, so ours are still going to nudge up a little bit more. There's more financial pain to come in that.
So, Andrew, one of the things I really enjoy about what you do and watching and listen to as well is your view on where you see the markets are, what's happening, how it's affecting the global markets, how it's affecting the property market.
Yeah.
So what sort of research do you do to kind of collect this data?
Yeah. Well, great question. I mean, I'm the geek in the room. I read a lot of detailed reports, lots of pages in those reports as well. Organisations like Goldman Sachs, HMRC, the Bank of England, the Federal Reserve. I'll take lots of different research reports and I'll pick through, if Rightmove have said something, are they making a political statement or is that a fact? Is it underpinned by data? And where is it going? Often you'll see headlines in newspapers and the headlines are making those because of a political agenda or to sell a newspaper. What I try and do is cut through all of that. Now, you asked the question, where do I see the markets going? That's a good question. The UK, we're an island. Unfortunately, as much as we like to think we're a global superpower, we are a tiny little dot on this planet. And if America catches a cold, then we catch a cold. If a tornado passes through America, we get the tailwind of the tornado over here. An example of what is happening in interest rates, shall we say, if you track back the last 25 years worth of interest rates and you map the USA and the UK, you will find, point for point, we have virtually moved identically for the last 25 years. Now, ironically, when America moves, we move after them. So you can almost predict where our interest rates are going to go by watching American interest rates.
Yeah.
So that's one area that's really useful to track. Reading the Federal Reserve reports, and they're talking about a fairly significant recession impacting America in Q3 and 4 of this year because of the banking crisis. We've all seen different banks having troubles. There's getting to be too many to start a list, but there's banks having troubles. That's now undermining confidence, which means they're reeling in their finance. I was talking to a RICS director last week of a national firm, and he was confirming the banks are picking up the phone and saying to them, can you come and revalue our portfolios and assess our risk? Because every 3 months, Standard & Poor's, Moody's, reassess the credit rating of the banks. So they've got to make sure they're on ball.
Yes.
And if they're not knowing where the risks are in their book, that's a bit scary. So you can predict roughly what's going to happen. My prediction is, yes, there's going to be a recession in America. That is going to affect our trade. Their interest rates are a little bit higher than ours, so ours are still going to nudge up a little bit more. There's more financial pain to come in that. When we look at, say, the 5-year SONIA rates, which is the 5-year interbank lending rates, for lending the money today and collecting it in 1 year's time, the rate is 4.183. That's telling me the rates are going to come down to be that. But the rates in the short term are going to go up.
Yes. So we've still got probably an increase to happen.
That's right.
I think we're close to the ceiling in terms of where the rates are going to go.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you. Probably 2.25% increases, one at the next review and one probably in 2 to 3 months' time.
Yeah.
Subject to the caveat being what happens in America. It'll then taper off, and that's why that's happening. If you then look at the 5-year money, it starts to begin with a 3. So that is telling us between now and 5 years' time, rates are likely to drop slightly below 4%, but not hugely. When we look at 30-year money, it still starts with a 3. Therefore, because the 30-year money is starting with a 3, long term, we're probably in the zone, 3% to 5%, where it's going to average over the long term. So if your deals don't stack on 5%, start worrying.